So when Lucy says, "I'm not scared of what happy might look like," she isn't just talking about love. She's talking about trust, about the future, about believing that peace doesn't have to be temporary. And for fans who followed this relationship from the beginning, that line feels like a promise. Season 8 isn't asking whether Tim and Lucy will survive. It's asking how they'll grow, how they'll stumble, how they'll choose each other again and again, even when it's hard. What if the happiest moment in The Rookie isn't the calm before the storm, but the storm itself finally ending? Because in The Rookie Season 8, Episode 1, something fans waited years for finally happens. Tim Bradford and Lucy Chen don't just get back together, they choose happiness. And that decision might change everything about the show going forward. For 7 seasons, their relationship has been defined by tension, trauma, timing, and restraint. And yet, with one quiet line, "I'm not scared of what happy might look like," the series tells us something important. This isn't a tease. This isn't temporary. This is real. But what makes this reconciliation hit so hard isn't just the romance. It's what it says about growth, healing, and the future of The Rookie itself. Tim and Lucy's reconciliation in the Season 8 premiere doesn't happen with fireworks or melodrama. Instead, it lands softly, deliberately, and with emotional maturity. And that's exactly why it works. After their painful breakup in Season 6 and the slow burn, almost cautious reconnection throughout Season 7, the show finally allows them to step forward together without fear. No power imbalance. No unresolved resentment. Just two people choosing each other with open eyes. This isn't a will they, won't they moment anymore. It's a we will moment. What makes this decision so powerful is that the writers don't pretend the past didn't happen. Tim's emotional walls didn't magically disappear. Lucy didn't forget how deeply the breakup hurt. Instead, the premiere acknowledges that healing doesn't mean erasing pain. It means learning how to live honestly with it. And that honesty becomes the foundation of their reunion. When Lucy moves in with Tim, it's not framed as a rom-com gag. It's framed as trust, as safety, as two people saying, "We've survived worse than this." And in a show built around chaos, danger, and unpredictability, that kind of stability feels revolutionary. But here's the twist. The Rookie isn't afraid of happiness, and that might be the boldest storytelling move it's ever made. For years, television has trained audiences to believe that once a couple gets together, the story ends. Or worse, the show loses its edge. That's what's often called the moonlighting curse. But creator Alexi Hawley makes it clear, this isn't a finale. This is a beginning. By letting Tim and Lucy reconcile early in Season 8, the writers free themselves from tired relationship drama and open the door to something far more interesting. What happens after the fairy tale moment? What does love look like when the adrenaline fades? When do routines set in? When does family enter the picture? And yes, Tim's mom is coming. That alone changes everything. For the first time, Lucy isn't just navigating Tim the officer or Tim the commander. She's stepping into Tim's personal history, a history marked by abuse, control, and emotional suppression. Meeting Tim's mother isn't just a relationship milestone, it's a psychological reckoning. Because for Tim, love has always come with conditions, with fear, with survival instincts. Lucy represents something radically different. She represents choice. One of the most quietly brilliant moments in the premiere is when Lucy calls out Tim's insecurity, not with frustration, but with compassion. Tim is still learning how to exist in a relationship where vulnerability doesn't equal weakness, where communication isn't a threat. And the show doesn't rush that journey. Instead, it lets Tim stumble. That matters, because growth isn't linear. And the Rookie understands that people don't become emotionally fluent overnight, especially not people shaped by violence, authority, and emotional repression. Tim's insecurities aren't flaws in the story. They're the story. And Lucy's role in that story isn't to fix him. It's to stand beside him while he figures it out. That's what makes their reconciliation feel earned rather than forced. It's not about passion. It's about partnership. But Tim and Lucy aren't the only characters whose worlds are shifting in this premiere, and that's intentional. While their relationship offers emotional stability, the rest of the episode introduces chaos elsewhere. Monica, once powerful and untouchable, is suddenly broke, disbarred, and stuck in LA. Her immunity deal saves her life, but costs her everything else. She's now forced to rely on the very people she once manipulated. And that reversal adds a dangerous wild card to the season. This contrast is deliberate. Where Tim and Lucy represent healing and forward motion, Monica represents consequence. And the show uses that balance to keep tension alive. The rookie isn't going soft, it's evolving. Lieutenant Gray, stepping away from the watch commander desk, signals another shift. For the first time in a long while, he's back in the field. That opens space for new leadership, new conflicts, and new dynamics within Mid-Wilshire. Change isn't happening in isolation. It's happening everywhere, which makes Tim and Lucy's stability even more important. They aren't the distraction from the drama, they're the emotional anchor. The real genius of the Season 8 premiere is that it reframes happiness not as an endpoint, but as a challenge. Being happy doesn't mean things stop going wrong. It means you face them together. And in a show built around high-stakes policing, moral ambiguity, and personal sacrifice, that message hits hard. Alexi Hawley's confidence in committed relationships shows through every scene. He isn't interested in tearing couples apart for shock value. He's interested in exploring the complexity of staying together when life gets messy. And that philosophy shapes the entire tone of the season. Tim and Lucy choosing happiness isn't naive, it's brave. Because happiness means vulnerability. It means risking loss. It means letting go of control. And for Tim Bradford, control has always been his armor. That's why this moment matters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Rookie Season 8 Episode 1 and Tim and Lucy's long-awaited reconciliation, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we'll be breaking down every major moment, twist, and emotional beat all season long. Because happiness may not be the end of the story, but it might be the most powerful chapter yet.